Are you aware that 2 cases of Ebola have been confirmed in Kampala, Uganda? Well, 2 cases of Ebola have been confirmed in Kampala, with 1 death so far reported in one of the Kampala hospitals. What is Ebola? Ebola is a highly contagious disease that is often associated with fruit bats and leads to a high hemorrhagic fever. When one contracts Ebola, they usually experience a headache, body pain, chest pain. It presents with vomiting, diarrhea, and bleeding through, the openings of the body. Also, sometimes kidney and liver failure. The first outbreak happened in 1976. We've had about 40 outbreaks from that time, 1976, 1995, 2000. Now, if you remember, in between 2000 and 2001, there was an Ebola outbreak in Uganda. It affected areas of Gulu, Masindi, and I think 5 deaths were reported in Mbarara. Ebola is very fatal in that the death rate is 50% upwards. In the 2001 outbreak, that was in northern Uganda mostly, 425 cases were reported, out of which 224 deaths were recorded. So Ebola is a very, very serious disease. Now, what is special about the Ebola that has been confirmed in Uganda? It is called the Bundibujo virus. That's Ebola. It's the Bundibujo one. What about it? It doesn't have a vaccine at the moment. So what you need to do mainly is protect yourself from contracting it, because there is no vaccine. Like we had the COVID, but the COVID vaccine came up later. But we don't have that vaccine for that particular virus, the Bundibujo one. You need to protect yourself. You need to avoid getting into contact with fluids of affected persons, including semen infected persons. Semen, mucus, blood, their vomit, their diarrhea. Avoid getting into contact with body fluids of infected persons. You need to report. Ebola can be managed. The mere fact that the death, this fatality rate is above 50% does not mean it cannot be managed. We have survivors. So report any cases such as that for quarantine, because such patients need to be isolated timely to prevent the spread. Now, when you start tracing contacts, now we're looking at the two cases confirmed in Kampala, and they're coming from the DRC. Now, look at that tracing, because we said it presents itself between 2 to 21 days. Contact tracing becomes very difficult. So what we have to do is mainly protect ourselves from contracting this disease. Keep hydrated. Avoid eating meat of wild animals, like especially the fruit bats and monkeys. Avoid consumption of such meat, because the raw meat of such animals contain the Ebola virus. So stay safe, protect yourself, and protect your loved ones. Share the information so that people are aware, because an informed community is spreading information, creating awareness is already one step towards fighting this pandemic. We do not want to go into a situation where we have what happened in Gulu between 2000 and 2001. I was a child back then, but I saw firsthand what Ebola did. It is a situation we do not want to get into. So let us spread awareness, let us spread the information and protect ourselves. Stay safe.